Welcome to Walking Word Podcast. And today I'm going to teach out of the most joyful book I believe Scripture has. It may surprise you which one it is, but let's take a read. Ecclesiastes. So if we look in chapter 2, verses 11, 16, and 17. It says, "Yet when I reflected on everything I had accomplished and all the effort that I expended to accomplish it, I concluded, all these achievements and possessions are ultimately profitless. Like chasing the wind, there is nothing gained from them on earth. For the wise man, like the fool, will not be remembered for very long. Because in the days to come, both will already have been forgotten. Alas, the wise man dies, just like the fool. So I loathed life, because what happens on earth seems awful to me. For all the benefits of wisdom are futile, like chasing the wind." Now, I know what you're saying. That doesn't sound very joyful. That doesn't sound very great. But let's read Ecclesiastes 3, 19 and 20. "For the fate of humans and the fate of animals are the same. As one dies, so dies the other. Both have the same breath. There is no advantage for humans over animals, for both are fleeting. Both go to the same place. Both come from the dust, and to dust both return." I realize this isn't really helping my case, but let's do another one. Ecclesiastes 4, 1 through 3. "So I again considered all the oppression that continually occurs on earth. This is what I saw. The oppressed were in tears, but no one was comforting them. No one delivers them from the power of their oppressors. So I considered those who are dead and gone more fortunate than those who are still alive. But better than both is the one who has not even been born, and again has not seen the evil things that are done on the earth." Now again, this is Solomon. And without reading all of Ecclesiastes, he says that he was going to apply wisdom to all these different scenarios, whether it was women, alcohol, possessions, building, making a name for himself, fame, all these things he applied himself to. And in the end, after doing every single one, he says it's futile, it's pointless. All of them are pointless. All of them are chasing the wind. All of them do nothing for you in the end. Ecclesiastes 5:10, "The one who loves money will never be satisfied with money. He who loves wealth will never be satisfied with his income. This is also futile." And we've all seen people that it's just never enough. One of the richest men in the world, that was his quote, "How much is enough?" And he says, "More, just a little more." And that's the mindset. But the problem is you have one life. And at the end of that life, you die and you didn't take nothing with you. But Ecclesiastes does have some good stuff in it as far as giving you encouragement. Ecclesiastes 2, 24 and 25, "There is nothing better for people than to eat and drink and to find enjoyment in their work. I also perceived that this ability to find enjoyment comes from God. For no one can eat and drink or experience joy apart from Him." Ecclesiastes 3, 12 and 13, "I have concluded that there is nothing better for people than to be happy and to enjoy themselves as long as they live, and also that everyone should eat and drink and find enjoyment in all of his toil, for these things are a gift from God." Ecclesiastes 5:19 tells us of another gift. "To every man whom God has given wealth and possessions, He has also given him the ability to eat from them," or to enjoy them, to actually get something from them, "to receive his reward and to find enjoyment in his toil. These things are a gift from God." And then finally, in 7:14, "In times of prosperity, be joyful, but in times of adversity, consider this: God has made one as well as the other, so that no one can discover what the future holds." Now, I would suggest that the reason why Ecclesiastes is the most joyful book is this. When we look at everything we can chase here on this earth, we can chase fame, we can chase wealth, we can chase possessions, we can chase influence, we can go after so many different things to try to fill our lives. But Ecclesiastes tells us that in the end, verse 13 of chapter 12 says, "Having heard everything," or "Now let us hear the conclusion of the matter. Fear God and keep His commands, for this is the whole of man." So Solomon says, at the end of everything that I've tried, all the wealth that I've accumulated, all the fortune, all the women, the man had hundreds of concubines. He could literally go more than a full year having sex with a different concubine and still not go back to the same one. That's how many he had. That's not even including his wives. But one of the things that I want you to understand about this, he says that after having all the wealth and all the women and having as much wine as he wants and having as much buildings of monuments and having all of this stuff that he has, in the end, fearing God and keeping his commands is the whole of man. So what that does is it takes all the pressure off of us, because anything we get is bonus. Because in the end, what will make me whole as a human being is not my possessions, it's not my wealth, it's not my influence, it's not the women, it's not the men, it's none of those things. It is fearing God and keeping his commands. It's being in communion with God. So in that sense, to me, it's the most joyful, because now the pressure's off. I can pursue those things, yes, because those things are good, because he says, enjoy those things. God gives you the wealth and the possessions, and in getting those, you can eat from them, you can enjoy them. So yes, that is a good thing to have, but the pressure to have all that, we can let go of. And this is where, when Jesus says, look at the lilies of the fields, the birds of the air, they're clothed, they're fed. Don't worry about tomorrow. Just stay focused on seeking his kingdom and his righteousness first. And that's why, to me, Ecclesiastes is the most joyful book. It gives you the most optimism. It doesn't put any of the worldly standards on you. It lets you focus on one thing, God, and everything else becomes bonus. And if that's the case, then you can have a pretty good life, because God will bless those that seek him and that go after him. So I hope this was encouraging. And if you do struggle with chasing after possessions and women and riches and fame and influence and all those things, just remember that at some point in this life, it ends. And we have to go before God. And it says that in 12:13 that God will judge, in 12:13-14, that God will judge every deed, good and bad. So we have to take that into account while we're enjoying our life. Yes, it's good to, but there will come a judgment on that. So we focus on him. We stay eyes up, eyes forward on him. Hope this is encouraging. Thank you for listening. God bless.